Hi everyone. Today's video is obviously unlike any video that I usually do in my regular schedule. Programming, I didn't think I was going to say that. But today's video is really unlike any other video I've ever done before. And honestly, if you would have told me 3 years ago in the spring of 2016 that one song I was writing in the parking lot of a Best Buy in Los Feliz, that one song I was writing would propel me to write another album, even after the backlash and the negative energy and just the lack of support that my first album gave me, which looking back at it now, I understand even I'm not proud of what I did, because I feel like it wasn't my best work and it wasn't truly who I am and it wasn't truly what I wanted to say for a debut album. But forgetting that, if you would have told me that that one song would propel me to write an entire album again, and that it would not be an easy road, that it would be a really long and very heavy and gut-wrenching and heartbreaking, but one of the best experiences of my life at the same time. If you would have told me that that one song would propel me to do all of that, and that I'd be sitting here in the beginning of 2019 announcing this album, I would call you crazy. I'd tell you, yeah, right, I'm gonna take a year to write the album, I'm gonna release it in 2017, then another one in 2018, then another one in 2019. It's been a long road. It's definitely been a long road to get to me filming this video, and I could not be more happy to be filming this video. I could not be more excited to be filming this video, because it's true. It's been a long journey writing this album, and it's been something that has been eating me alive, not being able to tell any of you this. And if I'm honest, only one person in this entire world has known about this album for the last year, and only he knows the track listing, he knows the songs, he knows the album, he knows what this album is about. And yeah, only that one person knows about this album. But aside from that, nobody else knew about this album. Obviously you guys knew that I was making an album, but I would never tell you any details about it, because obviously I wanted it to be top secret. But now's the day, today's the day that everything is revealed. Well, not everything, but the most important things are revealed, and I'm so nervous and I'm so scared, and I'm also so relieved that I'm able to tell you this. I'm scared because I don't want to get the same response that I got with the last album, and I want to get a better response, and I want people to listen to it. I want people to hear it from start to finish. I want people to find something within my words and within what I made that they can incorporate into their lives. I want people to find something that they cherish about this album, and I want people to, I'm not expecting you to like this record, but what I hope, if you do listen to this album, is that if you take one thing away from it, and this is something that my mother has told me a lot of times, and she typically tells me this whenever a tragedy happens in the world, that faces we see but hearts we never know, smiles we see but hearts we never know. I want you to take that from this record, and I want you to take that from this album. When you listen to what I have to say in this record, when you listen to all the stories that I'll say in this album, when you listen to everything that I will practically confess in this album, I want you to take that away from this record. That faces we see, you may see my face every single day, well, now every other day. You might see my face every other day on the internet, on Instagram, but hearts we never know. I could share with you guys one part of my life and have an entire other part of my life completely hidden from the world, completely hidden from the internet, and I want you to take that from this album. So I think, oh my, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Let's start with the basic. Yes, I'm done with the album. The album has been turned in, everything has been set in stone, everything is set in stone. I'm done with this album, and I could not be happier that it turned out the way it did, because those 3 long and gut-wrenching and tedious years are all worth it for this body of work that I've created, that I am beyond excited to be sharing with you guys. And I think the first thing I should share with you guys is the album title. So here's the album title. Oh my god, I really, I feel like crying, but I don't really want to cry on camera. But I cannot believe it. You guys know the title already. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe you guys know the title already by the time this video goes live. I'm so happy and I'm so beyond just, I'm just so full of emotions right now, and I'm so happy you guys know the album title. So yes, the title of the album is The Life of a Comedian, and it's been an album title that I knew ever since I wrote the first song for this album, which is that one song I was talking about. The minute I finished writing that song, I knew what the album title was going to be. I knew what the concept of the album was going to be. I knew everything of what I wanted to do for this album, and I did everything I wanted to do for this album and more. And I could not be happier, and I could not be more excited for you all to listen to this album. Now, I want to go through a few things. If you are confused by the title and you are confused by what I have to say in this album, I'm going to let you know a few things. So, the album, I was inspired by the album by the life of Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers is one of my favorite comedians of all time. I absolutely love her, and I absolutely dearly miss her every single day. Trust me, the amount of compilations of her talk show and of her comedy special and of all of her performances that she's done as a comedian, I've seen 90% of them, and I know a lot of them by heart. And trust me, I've gone through interview after interview, after Fashion Police segment, after comedy specials, after, you know, late night appearances in her own talk show that she had in the 80s. I've seen most of it, and I'm a huge fan, and I truly respect her as a comedian, and also as a human being, because she's somebody that went through a lot of hardships, not only in her career but also in her personal life. And she's what primarily inspired not only the title of this album, but also the majority of the concept of this album. There's also a song in this album that I dedicate to her, and honestly, it's not just a song that I dedicate to her, but it's the whole album, because the whole album truly is what the title is. And it's not just necessarily the life of a comedian, it's also just the life of a human being. But I think comedian makes a better title than the life of a human being. Like, obviously we all know what the life of a human being is, but this, I talk about it in a much more different perspective, and this is truly the life of all of us. We like to share certain aspects of our lives on the internet, and not just on the internet, but we put up a front for so many people in our personal lives. We put up a front for them. We like to share certain aspects of our private lives to people in our groups, in our friend groups, in our social groups, to any interactions you have with people. We like to share certain parts of our lives, and we like to share certain aspects that seem a lot more joyous, and that seem a lot more easier for the other person you're conversating with to ingest. And we like to share things that are just a little more light humor, that are lighthearted, and that are more bubbly, because we don't want to share the realities of our lives, and we don't want to share the hardships of our lives, and we don't want to share what's bugging us. We don't want to share what's keeping us down. We don't want to share what's making us sad. We don't want to share the nasty things of our lives, because we're too afraid that it'd be a burden for other people, and we're too afraid that other people might look at us differently if we truly open up to them, or if we truly give them an insight into our private lives. We're afraid of that, and I feel like that's what a lot of people feel like. And also, I quickly realized as I was writing this album that this is not only the life of Joan Rivers. This is not only my dedication to the life of Joan Rivers. This is also the story of my life, and this is also the story of what I share with everybody here on the internet, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, sometimes on Snapchat. And also to anybody that I meet on the internet, or to anybody that I meet in person. This is not only the story that I like to share with you all, but this is also about the story that I've been hiding from you all. This is also about the secrets that I've kept from a lot of people in my life. This is also about the darkest parts of my life, the darkest aspects of my life, what has been eating me alive, and what has been really, I guess we could say, what really has been making me suffer for the past couple of years. This is also about that story. This is also about those times where, you know, sometimes you wouldn't see me as much on the internet because certain things happen. And this is also the story of why I would feel sad sometimes, and why I would put those sad videos on the internet, trying to get somebody to hear me, trying to get somebody to relate to me, trying to get some help too. This is also the story of just my inner demons, and also the demons around me in my life. It's also about that. It's also about shedding a light on certain issues that have been in my personal life for many years. This is also about the pretty things that I share on the internet, and also the ugly things that I keep to myself. That's what this entire album is about, and it's about everything that is right and incredible with my life, and also everything that is wrong and shameful in my life. And I did it all in the best way I possibly could. And don't worry, this album is not fully sad and fully depressing. There is a lot of really fun songs, and there's also a lot of really upbeat songs in this album that I'm just, whoa, I'm just in shock that I was able to do that all on my own. And yes, if you're wondering, I did this entire album on my own from start to finish. I wrote every song, I composed every song, I produced every song, I mixed and edited and did the cover artwork. I did everything for this album on my own, and this is truly a body of work that I know I will be proud of for years to come. I know that I will look back on this album in 5 years and be incredibly proud of myself that I did it all on my own. I did not have help from a record label. I didn't have help from A-list producers, not even D-list producers. I didn't have help from anybody with this record. I did it all on my own, and this is what truly means more to me. This album means so much more to me, that it came from my own words and my own heart and my own blood, sweat, and tears. I hope you take that into consideration when you listen to this album, that I did it all on my own. I had no help from anybody, and it was done here in this little bedroom. I did everything on my own. I worked on this entire album like I've never worked on anything else in my life on my own, and I could not be more proud of myself that I did it. And I'm also relieved that I did it, because trust me, it was painful to do this album. It was really painful. And I wrote over 100 songs for this album, and just a few came into this album. I think, you know what, I'm gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. I wanna keep a surprise how many songs are there in the album, but I will tell you now, it is a beefy album. It is a really big album. And the track listing and the cover artwork and everything else that has to do with the album, I will be announcing as the days get nearer and nearer to the release of this album, which I can share with you guys. And also I have another thing to share with you guys regarding this album. So the pre-orders for my album, The Life of a Comedian, the pre-orders for this album will go live on February 18th at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in the Pacific Coast and West Coast, and midnight February 19th on the East Coast here in America. For anybody else around the world, it'll be going live on February 19th. So pre-orders will be going live February 19th, and when you do pre-order this album on iTunes, you will immediately get 4 songs from this album. So you're gonna get The Lonely Boys Club and Hate Me All You Want, along with 2 other songs that are in this album that I think you guys might enjoy while you wait for this album. And the album release date for this album is March 22, which I am so excited, because the original release date was going to be April 11th, but I soon then realized that this album was complete a lot more earlier than expected. So I told myself, you know what, let's release it earlier, let's do it out, let's do it earlier. So the album is coming out March 22nd, and the pre-orders go live on February 19th, February 18th at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for anybody here that lives in California, Oregon, Washington, and certain parts of Canada. So it'll be going live at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, February 19th at midnight for the rest of the country, and for the rest of the world on February 19th. And I am so excited to be sharing this album with you guys, and I cannot wait. There is so many insane things that are going to happen during this album promotion cycle. There's so many crazy things that are going to happen. There's so many insane things that you guys will be seeing across the internet regarding me. I'm so excited. I am beyond excited for this next chapter in my life. I am beyond excited for you guys to listen to this album. I am just beyond excited to share everything with you guys finally after so many years of keeping it to myself. I am so excited to be finally releasing this album and truly sharing my story with all of you. And let me tell you, the cover artwork I did for this album is crazy. It's insane and it's crazy, and it's better than I ever imagined it. Oh my god, I'm just so excited. I'm just so happy, and I'm so just overjoyed with emotions that I finally told you this. Now the day has come. After nearly 3 years of working on this album, I'm finally releasing it, and it's finally coming out, and I could not be more excited, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I think that is it for this video. It's been quite a long video. I'm sorry if I've kept you here for such a long time, but I just wanted to share everything with you guys, and I could not be more excited to share this album, and I could not be more excited for you guys to listen to it and really dive into everything that I have to say in this record. I cannot wait to share everything with you guys. And I hope you guys are here for February 19th when the album goes live, when the pre-orders go live. And I hope you guys stick around for March 22nd when this album is on sale. And also, there is the possibility that for the first time ever, I might have physical copies of this album for sale as well. I don't know yet. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're still into physical copies. If not, we can keep it digital. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking by me, if you're still watching. And if you are excited for this next chapter in my life, if you're excited to listen to this album, if you're just excited for this, give it a thumbs up and comment down below as well. And also subscribe, because the bills don't get paid by themselves. Help us out, and also help us out by pre-ordering the album. And I will see you on Wednesday with another video. Goodbye, and thank you.